All right, I'm going to start over. Let's start over. Thank you, everybody, for being patient here. I have no idea. Somehow it was on mute, and that's what it is. Let's keep going here. We're going to start right over the beginning because I've studied this darn thing so much. Action speaks louder than words. Okay? Action. Action. What does action mean? Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can somebody give me an idea? Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate it. Got you. All right. We're going to start over again. The fact or action, the fact or process of doing something, typically to achieve an aim. A thing done, an act. An act. All right. Action, you should take responsibility for your actions. All right. So now, are actions words? Yes. Actions, because when we see the action, then the words define themselves by the action. So, for example, when someone does something good for us, they show their appreciation for us. That is defined by an action. All right? It's defined. Action, appreciation. Hostility. If someone is hostile to you, you don't need for them to tell you in words. You can see it in the action. Okay? Now, love has a plethora of words that can be described. Okay? Love is defined by action in so many ways. So now here is the reaction of the action. All right? So now a lot of people say that talk is cheap without action. Well, I'm one of those people who believe in that also. I am not about talking about what I'm going to do. I may say what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to go off on it. I'm going to do it, and then the action will complete the processes. So are words action? Yes. Speaking is an action. For example, someone can say respects you and loves you, then consistently denigrates you at dinner parties or behind your back, for which he shows up late and drunk or claiming to have been working late. Speaking is not an action, though can be called to action. Again, we always stay in this place of neutrality. Be in neutrality. This is when you meet people, is to be in neutrality. Now, let's be clear about what neutrality is. Neutrality is like the lobby of your mind. You know, when you walk into a building, right? Or you come to somebody's house, you stand on the porch or you're in the reception area before you're allowed to come in because you want to see what the action is. Staying in neutral. You might have come to the wrong place. See? Or you could be busy, or that person you do not want because you have learned through neutrality not to just let your spirit accept it, your mind. Because think about it. The brain almost looks like a sponge. You don't want that ruining your mind. They said one bad apple spoils the whole tree, the whole bunch. See? So now Should we be judged by our actions or words? We're both. Both. So, for example, gossip is words. When people gossip about you, all right, you could be nice to somebody and they say all kinds of good things to you, and then they go right and tell Johnny Wani the opposite of what they think you are. But just remember this: gossip always comes back to you. So if you're a gossiper, you just remember it always goes back to the person. Now, maybe that's what you want, right? Maybe that's what you want. You want it to get back. But for the most part, people just like to hear their own words. Now, your words mean everything in a court of law. You go in and you say you're guilty or not guilty, or you were there at this time or not. That goes on records. That goes as an action, and it's done by words. In a relationship, relationships starts off with words. Ooh, baby, I love you. Ooh, baby, I want to be with you. Ooh, baby, I want to be with you forever. Well, we know forever is a long time. So when you get into a new relationship with anybody, again, we want to be in a neutrality. I cannot express this enough. This will protect your mind, your spirit, and your body. Don't just sleep with that person. Get to know them, because you don't know where they've been. Now, for children, your word means everything. They put you on a pedestal. They're not grown up. So your words mean everything. And by the way, what is the war? The war is on our children. The New World Design is putting in words. Children do not have the maturity yet to be neutral. Neutrality is learned. Usually it's the hard way. Maybe you've never learned it. Maybe this is the first time you've really heard about being neutral. Again, I apologize. Somehow the mute button was pressed. I have no idea how. Probably adjusting the microphone when I brought it towards me. And I apologize. Again, I'm live, and gosh, I'm sorry, really. Now, your family, where neutrality kind of doesn't exist in its own framework, okay? You know, your family that you grew up with, your mom, your dad, you know, their words when you grew up, then you realize sometimes they meant their words, sometimes they didn't, but the only thing that mattered was their action. Word. What does word mean? The definition of a word is a letter or group of letters that has meaning when spoken or written. I give you my word. Now, it used to be before contracts, you would just give someone your word. Well, that seems to be a lost art, so to speak. If you've had people that give you their word and then you realize their word means nothing, and that's action. Okay, that is action. Action is all words, all actions. Okay, so all words and all actions are intentions. Intentions, ladies and gentlemen, are thoughts. A thought becomes an intention. For example, if you say that you're dumb or ugly or stupid, that creates an intention in the mind. Because the mind wants to give you what you want. So you can be constantly put into situations where you're told you're dumb. So here's my thing about someone, and someone insults somebody when they say, well, yeah, he called me dumb. And I ask the person, how many times have you called yourself dumb? God, too many times I can remember. So he says it to you once, but you say it 50 times. So which one is more powerful? Him saying you're dumb or you saying it? This person's just fulfilling your intention within your mind. This is why neutrality allows you to discern before putting that word of action into your mind. If you're saying that word, go back and apologize to yourself. Go back and apologize. I have to do it. Michael, I apologize for saying that you're dumb. You're not dumb. And you replace it with, I love you, and you made a mistake, and it's time to move from that mistake. Doing the reaction to change that way of thinking. Because the most important thing is it is put into your spiritual realm, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want the word dummy in your spirit. Because what are we here for on this program? Is to increase your spiritual value, your spiritual buoyancy, the spirit that you put out. People feel your spirit when you walk into the room. So I don't use the word energy. I use the word spirit because we are spirit. I am more spiritual than I am physical. How do I know? I've been practicing it. I've said it 1,000 times. I've not said, Michael, you are a spiritual dummy. I don't say those things. I will apologize. And if you haven't apologized to yourself for the negative things that you've said, I think it's time for you to do that. I swear to you, it will free you because you are what you think about. Now, you can say in your spiritual realm, or people think of your own personal universe, which, again, we're on the earthly plane. I call it a universe, but it's different to me than the spiritual realm. See, I believe in actions, and that covers both. Okay? Actions covers your words. The last thing you want is to keep doing actions that causes the reaction of the negativity within your own framework. You see, when you react to, say, let's just say gossip, and it makes you angry, and you want to get back at the person, you become that person. When you take on the action, I was just talking to Amanda about this. The most important thing is to not become them. That's how they win. Is becoming. I learned that when my business was taken. There were moments when I became that person. And I had to realize they won. They won that round, baby. Okay, they won the round. That don't mean they won. Okay? So be careful with your words. Be careful with your actions. Because your actions finalizes your words. Or not. We are in the realm of defining ourselves, perhaps for the first time. Perhaps just now getting to this place of experience. Our experience defines on how we learn wisdom. Mother says, wisdom without experience is not. You can hear words, but if you don't have the experience, then you will not get the wisdom. And what does the wisdom do? It solidifies you. Your wisdom of mother, your love of yourself, the value that you have of yourself comes from wisdom. People can read every book in the world and not have wisdom. Because they're not putting the ability to create the wisdom in their experience. And so in this realm of that, neutrality is not good. Because action speaks louder words. Mother is here now, guys. She's not in a book 2,000 years ago, although she is. She's here right now. And if you didn't know it, now you do. Because it's the greatest feeling in the world to know her. Because every word she speaks is wisdom. It just gets better and better, guys. Stay with me. I know I'm live. I don't have a producer. I'm sorry. Believe me, I have my own embarrassing moment about it. But again, I gave my best. Let's see. We got some comments here because I know we did. Thank you all. Yes, I recommend recording. The thing is about recording. There is nothing, Amanda. If anybody knows about it, it's about when you go live. I've been with you at your shows. There ain't nothing like being live. Case dismissed. Our words and actions are reflections of who we really are. I love it when Amanda comes. She's all the way over in Crete. In case you don't know who Amanda Darling is. Well, first of all, this is the first time I met Amanda. We met in 2011 when she was live and rocked the show. Yeah. There's nothing like a live show. Amanda's going to be at, by the way, in Los Angeles at the Avalon in October. She's got 2 dates. The biggest club in Los Angeles, the #1 club in Los Angeles. She's going to be playing there 2 times. So she's coming back here to do a live show. You know you love doing live, girl, more than you love recording. And I know you love recording. And I love recording too. But It's just something about live. Well, this is actually the first time it's happened to me. Well, maybe the second. So, when you say you are one way, but you are hiding a secret life, it will leave you in hell. Being false is a portrayal of yourself. You will be miserable. Yes. And that's why, which is a great point, is to not be like that, because you take on their action, their personality, their reaction. When you don't, no, they didn't win. People who wrong us don't win. They hurt themselves. Yeah. And they embarrassing themselves before mother. I just love these great comments. Thank you, Amanda. This is another good one. Reaction, i.e., righteousness, is the path to ultimate happiness. It leads to bliss and freedom. You will know in your heart that you are a good person and you find eternal peace. One thing I've known Amanda for years, and every time when you do this, Amanda, I appreciate you. I consider her my co-host when she comes on here. She's like literally 10 hours away time-wise. What is it, 4,000 miles? I think 4,000 miles from California to here. So she's a long way away, and I appreciate you. She's actually a head chef now, cooking. Amazing darling. That's what I call her, amazing darling. Don't be embarrassed. Not your fault. You kept going, and that's all that matters. Yes. And that is the example for that. What matters. Okay. All you can do is keep going. So for me, because I have the value of myself, and I mean it, I started over. Yes, I apologize. But again, I know my value, and I know that I'm here. I can do this twice. And so this is what's really incredible. And listen, I just thank you for, yeah, you're totally welcome, Amanda. You're welcome. Please come back. Don't hold this against me. I will have it again together here. I want to thank everyone who's here. People stuck with me on the show. I appreciate that for sticking with me. If you get a minute, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and please place a comment. I'd really appreciate that. So I will be back here tomorrow. I know this show ran long. This is my longest running show because I did it twice, literally twice, 24 and 24, almost the exact time. So thank you so much for being here. ALPOUGH. That's me. Listening to the Holy Spirit, and I'll have the words tomorrow. Amanda, thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming, for sticking with me. I love you, and it'll never end.